So welcome to Strange Paths, a podcast where we read Choose Your Own Adventure style stories.
I'm Stephanie.
Hosts.
October.
And I'm Paul. So it's our Halloween edition
I'm
of
scared.
Strange Paths. So scared. And that means that we each have our own spooky tale to tell.
That means you're going to have to suffer through a longer, scarier podcast.
Yeah, you're going to need a lot of diapers for this one.
Oh, get a whole crate of eggs.
Yeah.
Whole crate of eggs, get a bucket going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You'll be ready. Yeah. Maybe.
Treat it like there's like a tornado or something and you have to, or like a storm that you have to weather for a long time. Get your canned goods. How long can we draw this out?
I just wanted all the kids in the neighborhood to know that I will be handing out whole eggs this year.
Ooh, will they be peeled?
It's either or, depending on which one they want. Trick or treat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like the parents would want them to be unpeeled. Otherwise, there might be razor blades.
Well, it's not about parents. Not what they want. It's what Big Egg wants, and it's what I want.
That's true. That's true.
Plus, you have to give a few of them the false egg, which is just the empty shell.
How did you get the egg out?
You, make a little cut in the bottom and drain it.
You suck it out like that? Well,
I mean, that's what I mean by drain it.
Don't you put you put a hole on either side and you can blow it out?
You could do that, too. Yeah. Fun
or
for
suck
parties.
It in.
Fun for parties? No. Watch this, guys. Watch this.
Alone in the corner, sucking and blowing eggs.
Why did you invite him?
Well, the goal is to see how much of it you can get out and still suck back in.
That kid. Still nauseating
Check
me
it out.
20 years later.
Your parents made you invite him.
Ugh.
All right. Well, now that the egg talks...
Now that the spookiest egg tales are out of the way.
Let's get on with our tales. Mm-hmm. I'm going to start mine first. Mm-hmm. My tale
very
is
gentlemanly.
called... It is, it's very progressive.
We had a rock, paper, scissors off, and he won, so.
Yes. It took
fairly.
30 minutes.
Yeah, it was
There was
heated.
a lot of crying,
yes.
mostly from me.
And I have 17 cuts from it. Too many scissors drawn.
Paper.
And paper.
Yeah, that cuts you, right?
And my palm is bruised.
Yes.
So, in any case. All right, my tale is called Tale of the Dullahan.
Who?
Oh. Why do I know that word?
I don't know why you know that word.
Did you make it up?
No, I did not.
Is it a sex thing? Or is it, am I looking real weird right now?
I don't know.
I know that. What do I know? It's a big
We'll
part
have to
of my
find
life.
out.
Okay.
All right, you guys ready?
Wait.
Okay.
I feel scared.
All right.
I'm ready.
The cold faux leather sticks to your thighs as you shift in your seat.
Did you say shift? Because
Because
I did not hear shift.
Yes, I
As
said
you
shift.
shit in your seat.
All right, I'll start that over. The cold faux leather sticks to your thighs as you shift in your seat. Adorned in a hospital gown, you would hope the doctor's office would eventually warmed up from the constant traffic of various nurses and technicians stopping by to stare, each assuring you it would only be a few more minutes. The clock on the wall has proved liars of them all as it mocks you, its ticking ringing out in the otherwise soundless room. Growing bored, you tousle your hair, trying to fix an unruly cowlick which only becomes worse as you fret over it. A few more minutes pass before the doctor finally makes an appearance. Short and stocky, she carries a manila folder under one arm and hides her face behind a chart held only a few inches away. Yes, our walk-in. I'm not sure how you convinced the front staff to let you through without any proof of insurance, but we've got your results The doctor trails off as she sees your face. You try to broaden your already wide smile, but she only seems more uneasy. You try to reassure her. The doctor throws up her hands, dropping the chart before exclaiming, Yes, we are glad to help indeed. Let's keep it informal, huh? How about Dr. Bertrand? Professionally, I keep my ex-husband's surname since we still work together. You stare at the name tag on her lab coat. It clearly reads Dr. Williamson, but you decide to play along in the hope that your visit moves along at more than the current snail's pace.
Ooh, baby snails at home.
Oh, they need help eating their popsicles and stuff. Okay.
Dr. Bertrand. Dr. Williamson pauses for a moment after you address her, lost in her own thoughts. From the other room, you hear a thud against the wall. Just before you start to address her again, she snaps to attention with a grin, remembering why she came into the examination room in the first place. Ah, yes, your results. Let's see. She thumbs through some files within the manila folder before selecting one and setting it against the backdrop of the light box mounted on the wall nearby. She fumbles for a moment before finding the switch. Flicking it on, your heart grows colder as the results are pretty clear. I'm afraid it's rather aggressive. The tumor seems to have started as your typical glioma in the supportive tissue of the brain, but it has spread rapidly. Operating is out of the question. Obviously, the normal intravenous chemo treatment would be useless for your physique. However, we could start you on some dosimetry treatments right away if you'd be willing. I must warn you, though, although these treatments are well tested, we are talking about radiation levels which will have adverse effects. You will likely suffer a dramatic downturn in your quality of life, particularly given your advanced age. Memory loss, changes in your personality, and advanced sickness during the treatment period are just a few symptoms you may experience. Keep in mind, though, that without this treatment, I'd estimate your time left to be anywhere between 3 to 6 months.
Starting off light, huh? Good thing you won the rock, paper, scissors off.
Letting her words sink in, you hold your head in your hands and try to think. Dr. Williamson excuses herself to give you a few moments to make a decision. As she opens the door, you see a few panicked nurses racing down the hallway, carrying the doctor from next door who you can only assume is Dr. Bertrand. Maybe they'll try to revive him, but you know it's never enough once you've said their name aloud. Dr. Williamson shuts the door behind herself, and you are left alone in the room.
Oh, what?
Should you take the treatment? Doing so may prolong your life, but it's at great cost. However, the alternative option is a rest you've been avoiding for as long as you can remember. If you decide to go through the treatment, turn to page 3. Otherwise, turn to page 5.
It's not chemo, though.
It's not chemo.
I guess I'll do that. I don't know. Even though I don't have any time to research it on Google.
All right, I'll go with it.
Okay. Going for treatment. Treatment sounds like it'll be rough, but you aren't ready to face the specter of death, at least not again. After filling out the exhaustive paperwork and discussing the plan of attack with a few medical professionals, you are led to the treatment room without being allowed to change back into your heavy boots and cloak. The room is cold, sterile, altogether uninviting. If the decorations were different, you would at least feel at home. The nurse assisting you tries to explain how the machine in the room, called a linear accelerator, works, and the marvel it is in this day and age. Your shoulders tighten and you squeeze your left hand into a fist while your right hand holds on to a clump of your hair. Despite your obvious discomfort, the nurse prattles on without pause. And with the treatment site effectively bombarded by electrons, the tumor is destroyed from the inside out, kind of like cooking it in a microwave. And don't worry, we're confident it'll do wonders for you, even given your special needs. It might even bring some color back to that lovely blue cheese complexion. You debate.
I love blue cheese.
Yes.
So, I don't want to erase that. Hell no.
You debate ending her speech now, but unfortunately this one's not wearing a name tag. Eventually, your head is strapped down to the table to prevent it from moving during treatment. Just before the nurse leaves the room, she quips, "It's not like we'll be striking you with lightning or anything like that." You let out a long sigh. The linear accelerator springs to life within a few moments. The machine orbits around the head of the table, not seeming to do much other than make a horrendous noise. So far, so good. You don't feel any different, at least. After a few more rotations, the machine slowly comes to a stop, and a light over the entrance flickers green. The nurse returns, taking a moment to jot down some notes before walking over and unstrapping your head. Getting up from the chair near the door, you carefully stumble towards the table and try to pick up your head, but it falls apart in your fingers.
Ugh.
The gooey remainder of what used to be your face sticks to your deadened fingernails. Turning to the nurse, you show her your hands covered in congealed remains.
I don't like it.
She slides back to the wall and stammers, Dr. Williamson warned this kind of thing might happen due to your advanced age. I'm terribly sorry, but we can offer you a prosthetic. Give it some time, and no one would know the difference. A prosthetic? How could a prosthetic make up for what has served you so well? If you decide to take the hospital up on their offer for a replacement, turn to page 4. If you decide the hospital has just destroyed a priceless relic, turn to page 6.
I mean, obviously they have, but I want to see them like strap like a cut up volleyball to your head or something. That'll help. Obviously you're some sort of Frankenstein or something. I don't friggin' know.
I mean,
with name magic.
They're just, God. If I had to get a prosthetic, I would make it be like an art piece. And I think they're not going to do that for me. I mean...
they want to make you happy so you don't say their name and kill them or whatever it is you do.
It's a lot harder to do that without a head, though.
Let's try it out.
Okay.
You can doodle on it later, right?
Oh.
All right, so going for the prosthetic. Proceeding to the prosthetics and orthotics wing of the hospital, your shoulders tense up and your legs start to move as though you're wading through the bogs of your homeland. For once, the usual cold feeling of dread you receive as you ride down a stranded camper from atop your mighty Destria seems aimed against you. Struggling to find something to do with your now empty right hand, you awkwardly shuffle, trying to find a comfortable way to stand while the nurse explains the situation to the person behind the desk. Prosthetist turns pale as you shift in place. I'm not sure we'll have anything that can help in this case, but I'll check. He finally responds to the nurse. The nurse, unsure how else to act in such an awkward moment, begins to play with her hair, unaware of how insulting this action might be to someone who just lost their head moments ago.
Bitch.
Yeah.
So, is there a Mrs. Headless Horseman? She asks. You try to let out a sigh, but instead a sputtering of moths and worms erupt from the hole in your neck. The nurse turns green and moves to a nearby trash can, her retching echoing across the linoleum of the hallway. The prosthetist returns. Well, I was lucky. I managed to find one near the back that was earmarked for a fella named Jack, but I don't think he'll mind in this case. He passes a rather light cardboard box in your direction, helping you by guiding your hands to the lid. Opening the box, its contents are buried under packing peanuts. Reaching in, you pull out a plastic prosthesis. Should have picked a better word. Prosthesis.
Just say fakey from now.
It's rather large and much more garish than you would have expected, with a bright orange skin tone and black triangular features for the eyes and mouth. Impressed, you find it even has a handle at the top where it opens. Now, you may not see it this way, but you're now a cancer survivor, so you're welcome to join the support and recovery group we have starting shortly, he mentions as he finishes your paperwork. Should you go to the recovery group? You did technically beat cancer, but at the same time, you're itching to get back out to the night and try out this new head. If you decide to go to the recovery group, turn to page 7. If you think it's time to test out the new threads, turn to page 8.
Oh, I've been wanting to find a support group for a while, but it's really hard for an anxiety person to actually go and post away. So let's go. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking like if we go to the recovery group, nobody's gonna want to tell you their name or anything. So
okay, so going to the recovery group?
No.
Oh, no? Okay.
Just go out into the night and rip off people's heads and stuff.
No way. I gotta get to that group.
All right.
My feelings.
Looks like we got.
Oh, you want to go to the group?
Yeah.
I thought you said you wanted to go into the night. All right. Well, let's rock paper scissors for it.
All right. Ready? Rock paper scissors shoot.
Scissors.
Oh. All right. Rock paper scissors shoot.
Scissors.
This is the next 30 minutes of the podcast, so you can just skip ahead now. All right. Rock paper scissors shoot.
Rock on. Hell yeah.
Okay, so we're going out into the night.
Yeah, let's go do our deets.
Oh.
All right.
Well, hello.
Maybe this new head won't be so bad. After all, with the modern conveniences of a handle, you don't have to worry about those awkward bald spots that would occur when you were overzealous with your old head. In any case, you're tired of the clinic and want to get back to a normal unlife again.
Mm-hmm.
Later that night, you drive your carriage through a neighborhood. Your black steed snorts and huffs as you careen through the streets. Ahead, you sense a group of people. Extending your whip of spinal columns, you crack it in the air to signal a stop.
Nice.
The crack echoes across the night like thunder. Stepping off the carriage, you see the people are not reacting as you would expect. Normally by now, the air would be full of their screams, but tonight they seem to be just milling about. The sudden change of decorum makes you uneasy. After a few minutes of watching, you realize they are moving from house to house. Drawn in by their strange behavior, you walk with a small group up to the house. The small child in front knocks on the door, and the owner just opens it? They don't even yell for their life or the lives of their children? Trick or treat, a chorus of children yell. The house owner proceeds to drop some trinket into their waiting arms until finally you find yourself face to face with the owner. You hold your new orange plastic prosthetic aloft. The eyes begin to glow a faint shade of green. Well, aren't we a little old for trick-or-treating? The owner says.
So embarrassing.
What's going on? What kind of response is that to your impending death? Your ruminating is interrupted by a thud as something is dropped into your prosthetic. Tell you what, I won't tell anyone if you don't, the kindly house owner says with a wink before shutting the door. You stand in the doorway for a few moments, the eyes of the bucket having returned to normal. Checking its contents, you find a party bag of spider mounds.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Hell yeah.
You know the difference.
Seemingly satisfied, you hop back into the carriage and ride off into the night. After all, how could you harm someone willing to give up something so precious? The end.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that ending. How innocent and sweet.
Just a head full of mounds. Everyone's dream.
Oh, God, everybody wants that.
So if you guys like, you have a few options you can go back to.
I do want to go back, but I just want to revel in how cute my ending was.
So you can go to the support group, you can refuse treatment, or you can refuse the prosthetic.
I want to go to that group.
Okay.
Okay. So to the recovery group with our new head. The support group meets in an old conference room on the second floor of the clinic. Although welcoming, you notice a large stain in the middle, remnants of where a table used to sit. The other cancer survivors sit in simple chairs in a small circle. The group coordinator, a pleasant enough gentleman in a sweater and tie, addresses the group. Welcome, everyone. Tonight I thought we should start off the meeting by introducing ourselves. It seems we have a new visitor to our little coven. He finishes with a wry grin while looking over to you. At least you think he's looking over at you. The others, you surmise, are looking away. Their fear, crippling them into that half state between fight and flight, leaves many of them shuddering. The little vibrations pulse along your feet. You begin to feel excited, but try to remain calm as the first survivor stands. Hi, my name is Joanne, and I'm a stage 3 breast cancer survivor. I've been cancer-free for roughly 4 months now, and I finally started growing out my hair again.
Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Joanne, the chorus of the group echo. The chorus of the group echoes. You want to leave immediately. Instead, you find yourself fiddling with the prosthetic head, trying to get comfortable with what will have to replace the one you just lost hours ago. A few more introduce themselves before they get to you. And it appears we have an early contender for best costume. I'm guessing Headless Horseman? Would you care to introduce yourself?
This is just like whenever Quasimodo was entered into that mask thing.
Oh my
in the Hunchback.
God, the pain
It's
of
just
it.
like
Upsetting. Like, great mask. And he's like, haha, that's what my face looks like, bitch. And then he cries and gets tomatoes in his mouth.
Mm.
In a bad way.
In a bad way, yeah.
Not in a hot way.
Right. Would you care to introduce yourself? Says the group coordinator. You stand, towering over the others, while the orange prosthetic head dangles from your forearm. The black eyes of the bucket start to glow faintly. Within a few moments, the paint of the wide-grinned mouth of the bucket starts to peel. The eyes become brighter. A few of the others in the group slide their chairs away. The group coordinator tries to address the room. Now, we all come from different backgrounds. I see some of you are feeling uneasy, but let's hear out our new guest. The eyes of the orange bucket are now as bright as bulbs. Their sickening green light creating cascading shadows across the walls and attendees in the room. A few try to cry out in terror, but no sound comes out. The room becomes a sea of green as everyone within is blinded. Weeks later, the group would be discovered by a janitor, their remains only identifiable by dental records. Near the middle of the room, a new stain has appeared in the shape of ashen boot prints that lead to an open window. The end.
Aw. He took his new friends for ice cream.
They just got rid of their cancer.
Why,
Yeah.
how could
And
you
now
do
they
this?
don't have to worry about remission. Yay!
Well, remission is good. Right?
Yes, remission is good.
They don't have to worry about it coming back.
They don't have to worry
Yay!
about anti-remission.
Anyway. So you can refuse treatment or you can refuse the prosthetic.
I say prosthetic.
Okay. So refusing the prosthetic after they destroyed your original.
Yeah, I want to be a melted head.
How could this be? How could you lose something so precious at the hands of these damned mortal beings? They've never been able to harm you before. They never dared. They cowered as you ran down their young from atop your mighty black horse, feasting in delight at the crunch of their bones underneath the wheels of your carriage.
Yeah.
This whole cancer scare must have been some trick, some ploy put together by the town. How can you go on? What forgery could possibly replace the elegance of your darting pupils, the cheek-to-cheek curvature of your grin, and the power of that booming voice?
Man, I have a crush on this guy.
In your anger, you thrash about, wrecking the treatment room until you collapse to the floor in a heap, held up only by your locked arms. A few moments pass before the nurse steps over to you, trying to reassure you with her soothing voice, but you're unable to hear her. She reaches out a hand and lets it come to rest on your left shoulder. Just as her hand makes contact, you sit up, swinging your left arm around her waist to pull her in close as you wrench her head off with the grip of your right hand in one smooth motion.
Shit!
You want to be a girl?
The body convulses and collapses before you release it, letting it slump to the ground as you hold the now severed head of the nurse aloft. A cry echoes from the head, and for a few moments you experience a nausea you haven't felt since your first death. Within minutes, your senses return. Sight, sound, smell, even that old perpetual taste of iron. This will do, you say. A pang of regret hits as you find the boomy baritone of your voice has been replaced. But you had no choice. You leave the treatment room and go to sign out from your visit. But when you reach the front desk, a stern older woman addresses you. Lord, save me from these nurses. Carly, you can't just run off whenever you want. Your shift just started an hour ago. But, you start to protest. I mean it. I swear. Just 'cause your daddy owns the place doesn't mean you get to treat this like a spa while I'm here.
Oh, shit.
Now get back in there right now. Go. Sheepishly, you stumble back to the ward, holding your new head under one arm as you check the first patient's chart.
Oh my god.
Nearby, an old clock ticks by ever so slowly. It'll be hours before your shift is over.
Oh, man.
The end.
Oh, that's cute. He didn't even dare do anything to that nurse. Hell no.
All right, so last option is refusing treatment.
Okay.
I refuse it.
I don't want any treatment.
I refuse the option.
Yeah. I want to die of cancer. Please don't listen to me, Lord.
All right. You've grown weary of those who took too much risk and never returned to tale the tale. The thrill seeker looking to impress their friends by proving how brave they are. The school kids daring one another to dig up their principal's deceased wife. The middle-aged man trying to prove that he's more than a cog in the machine by creating an empire. And even the slightly older man who tried the hot sauce marked caliente that one time.
Damn.
History is littered with tragic tales befalling those who are not yet ready for life's more eager spices. Standing up, you hold your head aloft, letting the darting eyes glow putrescent green as you survey the forest outside the window of the examination room. As your eyes adjust, you inspect the brush and the trees, finding a timeline of the cycle most repeated. Life, then death, then life again. You always thought of yourself as special, having found a new step in the cycle, but it appears nature always gets her way. You let out a raspy chuckle, the reverberations of which send goosebumps down the spine of everyone in the facility. You dress back in your cloak and heavy boots, leaving the doctor's clinic. You mount your great black steed and look to the darkening woods. Holding your head aloft again, you use your extrasensory sight. Finding a young couple camping hills away, you set out, eager to enjoy these last few rides. The end.
Wait, you had a hospital gown on?
No, we put back in, put back the cloak and boots on.
I wish.
So that was my story.
Man, that was a good story. I'm glad that I feel happy about our actual ending where we went trick-or-treating as the Headless Horseman.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Thank you.
Halloween!
Dullahan is basically the Irish version of the Headless Horseman.
So what, when he says your name or whatever?
So when he says your name, you die. He has his head the entire time. Like he just carries it around.
Yeah.
And so yeah, whenever it says someone's name, they die instantly.
Ugh. Oh, damn.
And yeah, he has a cool black horse and a carriage. And
is it a pumpkin?
No.
Is it a pumpkin?
No, but the spokes are made of bones.
How many mouse friends?
At least 3.
Okay. Well, you're gonna need more to dress you.
Yeah, you gotta get dressed.
Put your panties on, probably.
Yeah.
And then he has a cool whip made of spinal columns.
That is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who's up next?
Megan.
It's me.
So Megan, what's your tale called?
Okay. I didn't expect this. No, it's called...
Totally not making up one on the spot.
It's called Darkness and Light. Cricket? Not that.
Just Darkness and Light.
Darkness and Light Cricket. Not that. It's a long title.
Yeah, that is.
Yes. This is the shortest one ever for various reasons. But I do have a little story after the story. Huh? You call me Tommy?
Yes. Tommy, tale teller.
Yeah. Sammy Shorttail.
Yeah. Short story. What is wrong with you?
Look, alliteration isn't my strong suit, okay?
Strong suit, yeah. Good job.
Yeah. Almost got it.
You did it.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right, so Tommy Taleteller. What's your story called again? We're at Darkness and Light.
Cricket. Light. October.
Yeah.
Okay. Just had to get that in again.
The year was October.
Pretty much. That's how it feels right now. Love it.
You stare at your ceiling and try to focus on your breathing. Is insomnia going to strike again, you wonder, knowing that you have to work with Ron tomorrow, who is the person at the office whose personality you find to be the most exhausting. Don't think about work, you think. You'll never get to sleep. In fact, don't think about thinking. An hour or so passes, and you feel as if you could slip into the warm bath of unconsciousness any second. But suddenly, you sense that you aren't alone. You wonder reflexively if it's your cat Strider coming in for the night, but you realize he's been dead for months.
Oh, God.
Sorry, cat lovers. Poor Strider. Some movement in the corner of the room catches your eye, and you glance over, but nothing's there. Just some shadows, you think, a passing car. The movement begins again. This time, something seems to be there. You see what appears to be 2 long shadows near your bedroom door. You start to turn your head to focus on them, but you can't move. You become aware of muffled voices, but you're unable to make out any distinct words. The strange sounds continue for a couple minutes, then stop. The figures appear to be 2 male silhouettes, but they don't seem like normal shadows. They're as black as pitch. No, blacker than pitch. One seems to be wearing an old-fashioned hat, and the other a large hood. Before you can examine them further, They zoom towards you, floating as fast as lightning and peering down into your face. Your heart is racing. Their faces are just as featureless and dark as the rest of them. The room behind them seems almost lit up in comparison. Your mind gropes desperately for an explanation as you grow more and more terrified, and you find you're unable to scream. To continue to experience your own reality, turn to page 2. To experience the shadow people's reality, turn to page 3.
Oh, shit. I want to experience my own reality and see that through.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
All right.
I'm scared. I'm super scared. It feels very Halloween
October.
Yeah. Like, this story is short, but it packs a punch.
Yeah, it packs a punch of piss in my pants.
Yeah. Piss punch.
Your piss is punch colored?
I don't want to talk about it.
Only because of the stones.
Yeah, only because it's
the
so
Rolling
much blood,
Stones? Did they hit you?
Yeah, well, I don't really want to talk about my
just
bladder
roll one out
issues right now.
Yeah, save that for the after credits.
Yeah, after credits.
Okay, page 2. Go in with your own reality for some reason.
Oh, we picked the lame option.
Well, we have to get the lame option done so we can...
I'm
looking forward to the shadow people. Okay.
Right. You're sure you're about to have a heart attack when the shadows suddenly depart. They zoom towards the walls and evaporate. The relief you experience is immense. Your heart slows and you close your eyes. When you open them, you notice something moving in the opposite corner of the room. And to your horror, another shadow man appears. But this one is different. The others were of regular size. He's easily 7 feet tall, without distinguishing clothing, and has glowing red eyes. Unlike the others, his presence is violently foreboding. The air seems humid with malice in his presence, and he isn't alone. A very old woman wearing piles of rags is sitting cross-legged at the foot of your bed. Her hair is lank and partially obscuring her craggy face, but her coal-black eyes are very, very visible. Before you can think to do anything, the man is upon you with seemingly impossible speed, as if he teleported, and his long, dark fingers are curled around your throat. He squeezes and shakes you carelessly, as if your life is of no consequence. You feel your windpipe closing. You want to grab his hands, but the woman is now sitting on your chest and arms, her pits for eyes boring deeply into your own. She's heavy for her size, and you feel as if your chest could burst. You still cannot move. What should you do? If you'd like to mentally call for help, turn to page 4. If you're too terrified, you can't focus, turn to page 5.
I think I want to mentally call for help.
Yeah.
Sure.
I want to die.
Okay.
Unless we're trapped in some hell world, the only way to escape is to die.
Oh, shit. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. But anyway, we're going to call for help mentally.
Jesus.
Right.
Take the wheel.
You're not a religious man, but you find yourself calling upon any deity for assistance. You close your eyes and picture a blinding light, the light of the universe channeled through yourself, and concentrate on sending the light outward. Outward into the room, onto the entities that mean you harm. The pressure on your neck and chest dissipates, and you bravely open your eyes. It's now just a dark, empty room once again. Threatening feeling is gone. You sit up and look around, shaken and thankful, and seriously consider purchasing a nightlight. The end.
Damn.
Nice. I'm going to get the sweetest nightlight.
It's going to be like one that projects like space under your walls or something. Or like a scene from a Goofy movie or something.
Well, I'd like one that makes like how the tractor beam looks in Star Trek, but just constantly across my room.
It's just like a laser light
good
show.
Yeah, like a blue light just constantly scanning back and forth.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess we'll just be scared now.
So you just want to be terrified?
Yeah.
Okay.
Until I'm dead.
I mean, I'm already.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm super terrified.
Let's do that in the story, too.
You're having a panic attack and feel faint. The scene mercifully fades from your vision, and you're engulfed by darkness. Hours later, your eyes open to the dawn flickering hopefully under your curtains. Thank God, it has just been a dream, I think. I have to lay off the cheese before bed, maybe. You walk to your bathroom and splash your face with cold water. When you look up, you notice a faint bruise across your neck. You bring your hand up to touch it in disbelief, and in the corner of your eye, you glimpse movement in the hallway. You turn, but nothing's there. The end.
Ah!
Nice.
Halloween!
Very spooky.
Okay, I guess we'll have to be the shadow people now.
Yeah.
Yes, the first pair of shadow people.
I'm super scared.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're the... Well, I guess one of the shadow people.
I'll be the one with the hood.
Okay.
You could be the one with the old-timey hat stuff.
All right. Sounds good.
It's a fedora.
Yeah, we all know it's a fedora.
Yeah. That's why I didn't want to pick it.
Well, you can't pick it, can you?
No, I can't.
You focus on the man on the bed, just watching. The bright world is always shocking when you enter it, even though you try to prepare yourself every time. In the shadow world, everything is uniform and lacking in most sensations, save for positive and negative vibrations. You come from the more positive area of the black, which is a slightly lighter blackness, although only just. The man's face, like all men's faces, is sharp, bright, hideous, and fascinating. You never tire of watching them. The shadow to your left moves slightly. Is he aware yet? Yes. Should we leave? You consider the vibrations in the room. No, I don't think quite yet. Let us observe more closely. You sail towards the man and watch in heightened detail. You begin to say, "What is it like, I wonder?" Wait. Become aware of a shift in energy. "Oh," says the other. "Let us go." "Yes," you say, and fade back into the shadows. The end.
We know what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared.
Oh, you know.
I'm scared to remember it.
That was really cool.
Yeah, that was a really good story.
Yeah.
Well, so I've been, I think most people know about shadow people.
Yeah.
But, I've been just doing some more research, even though it was a simple story. And it's been so scary. Because, every time I loaded a page or something, I'm just like, don't have pictures.
Yeah.
And so I've been having trouble sleeping every night, especially after, writing and reading about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so last night, I finished the story, and I was having a lot of trouble because of my imagination in the nighttime.
Yeah.
And so I was, just really, freaked out, and I was thinking to myself, sort of, calling on light things and, asking them to get rid of all the, negative and, bad things that might be around me and in my mind. Immediately when I thought that, my printer started going off.
Oh, shit.
Printed out a page of nonsense.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
And, because I guess I've never been aware of it doing this before, but I guess it randomly prints a test page.
Yeah.
And it was
like a calibration page.
It was
whatever.
midnight. Yeah, I
That's
guess so.
Terrifying.
It was so scary.
The printer was there to save you.
But
It's
you know how ghosts and paranormal stuff often mess with electricity?
Yeah.
It was so frightening.
Did you go to sleep?
I did eventually. It took me a long time, but I'm by myself right now, so it was really hard.
Yeah.
I've had a difficult sleeping time.
That sounds.
I mean,
bad.
I think even I would go over and unplug the printer.
I did.
Yeah.
I turned everything off. But something online said the printer gets a signal from something to do it. And I'm like, from what?
From ghosts.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's time to check. There's a ghost of your printer ink.
Yeah.
It's time.
There's so many stories. I mean, I know that everyone, people are afraid of sort of the same things worldwide. But about, in particular, the bad shadow man and, the old woman.
Mm-hmm.
And just, some shadow people just watching you and some, being more sinister.
Yeah.
Some apparently people that see them regularly claim that they can, hear their thoughts and do stuff that they ask them to do. Even, when they're fully awake. Just like, and all the lights are on. They just still see them. It's so scary.
I don't like that.
I don't like it.
All right, so.
I didn't like this.
Oh, well. I'm very glad that we have kind of a mix of story vibes because mine's next, and you know it's going to be stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
And actually, you'll see why, but it's really funny what we've been talking about.
Okay. So what's your story called?
My story is called A Familiar Tale. Or is it?
Oh, man. I don't know.
Alrighty. Here we go. Are you ready? Are you prepared to be...
Yes.
Dazzled.
Oops. Titillated.
Yes.
All right.
Bedazzled.
Anyway, once upon a time, there was a girl. She was once very fortunate. She had the looks, she had the voice of an angel, she had both her eyeballs, in working order, I might add.
Oh, man. The dream.
Also, she had rich and doting parents. That's the dream, right? To have a good parent, too, if you're lucky, that'll teach you how to be a good person and all that, but they're also rich.
Hell
Shit,
yeah.
baby, she had it made. It was awesome, and everyone was having a great time. But then, smack! Her mom died! Oh. Her dad was so distraught that after an undisclosed amount of time, he married someone else who was just terrible. Isn't that classic?
Tale as old as time. Cricket agrees.
Yeah. He loved his first true wife so much that he hated his disgusting, filthy needs that started creeping back in when she'd been cold in the ground for a while. He had to do it, guys. He hated it, but he had to do it.
Take one for the team, Dad.
Well, he had to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So in order to honor his beautiful firstie's memory, he married someone with the right parts, but the wrong disposition. So it wouldn't be a love thing, just a sex one. But then smack! He died too! Fuck!
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
A comedy of errors.
And now here you are. Sounding familiar? I know because it's a very famous setup. Now I know you know the generalities of what happened in this type of tale, but listen to me. Disney fucked it up. You have to come at this from a Halloween standpoint to really grasp the horror of the situation for this poor girl. I mean, you know, you. You're the person in the story right now. Feel it. Own it. Your life sucks. You're fucking red hot. You're a great person. But now you got this bitch new mom who totally hates you because of the reasons I already said. She came with a bunch of baggage since she's all bitchy and old. And 2 giant shitty lumps of this baggage are your stepsisters.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm going there. I'm fully there. You know where we are. So yeah, it's funny that we were talking about the horse carriage and stuff. And they're mouse friends.
Yeah.
Anyway, all these assholes hate you. But you're stuck in a house with them. Not in a real world way, but also kind of in a real world way because they're constantly thinking of the next way to totally get you. Is it getting spooky in here?
Oh, yeah.
I can feel that it is. To keep you down, the gaggle of assholes in the house make you do their laundry, scrub floors as if they don't have perfectly good Roombas skulking around, and give their cat too much catnip so they can convince you you're an alien so he has it in for you as well.
Ugh.
I just have to say, gaggle of assholes is not something I ever expected to hear.
You're welcome.
Also, I think maybe because of DJ Roomba, I just don't think about Roombas as, like, lurking or anything. That was funny. Like, stalking you.
They're just, like, in the shadow waiting for dirt to happen, and they're like, shit! I'm ready. To make matters worse, this house has got a rat problem. Not only that, these rats are fucked up. They seem to hunt you, mess with your stuff, and force themselves on you in an unnatural way. Like when they're crawling all over Hot Blonde Lady in The Last Crusade. You aren't even afraid of rats, but God, it's really getting to you.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So you do your thing. Mind your own business. Clean up the little piles of shit the sisters create for you all over the place while trying to ignore their giggling from inside the vents nearby. It feels bad. Real bad. But what can one do? You probably could keep going like this. You could do it forever and ever. As long as it takes, you know, it. As long as it takes, you know. I just want to do that joke again. You could, but listen, then this happens. You're still cleaning up that shit when suddenly a rat runs over and steps in all the shit!
No.
It looks like he's trying to help. He keeps making little patting and grasping motions in the shit as if he's picking it up, but it's so gross that it just smears everywhere. It's even smearing on his little shirt and sleepy time hat. What the fuck? Are they dressing themselves now? My God, did they make those little clothes out of cut up pieces of your clothes? God damn it! That's the same pattern as your favorite chicken feeding dress. He looks so sad and desperate. He keeps looking up at you with worried eyes, like he knows it's bad, but he desperately wants you to love him and accept him as your natural born son, that he keeps trying. It's pathetic and insane, but the horror starts to subside and he starts being cute to you. But then a fuck ton of other rats come rushing in to try to help as well. They form a giant swarm of little nails and teeth, knocking you down and flowing over you to get to the shit and help your natural son. Fuck, now you're doing it. You're screaming as the little rats keep coming, filling the hallway and attacking the shit puddle with ferocity. You feel both rage and terror swelling inside you, clawing up your throat to burst out and take shape. What happens next? For heaven's sake, you jump up, shoo the rats, and get a hold of yourself, dear girl. Or you pass out from the terror and just let it happen. Or you give in to the visceral emotions boiling beneath the surface, allowing them to overcome your consciousness and burst into flame, transforming into a blazing phoenix of rage fueled by the righteous fury of one unfairly oppressed. It's Halloween, by gum, and you want to see some goddamn action.
You know what? It is Halloween.
Alrighty. You jump to your feet and let loose a terrible shriek that sends those that's really hard to... Okay, that sends those shit-smearing sisters of yours to their rooms to cower at the back of their closets, weeping and pissing their beautifully tailored dresses in fear. Your hair all falls out at the same time, but then regrows instantly into flowing white rivulets more beautiful than ever. Your shit-smeared smock starts smoking, then bursts into flame, leaving smears of smoldering ash singed to your skin like armor.
How many S words did you put in here?
Then your eyes cloud over, but you aren't blind. You see all. You see it all so much more clearly than you ever have.
Oh, yeah.
You start to dance and chant, using your fury as kindling for the most awesome magic shit ever done. You lift your face and arms dramatically to the tall ceilings, which fucking burst off the house instantly, like they can't wait to do your bidding. Your stepmother just fucking dies right then, because her house is destroyed and her heart explodes from shock. No one visits the house, no one comes looking for your stepmother, who's dead, or your stepsisters, who are now wild and running through the grounds like animals, naked and shitting, eating any old thing, and howling. And howling at any who trespass in your domain, but not really doing anything other than that. Speaking of which, your domain becomes a hub for all magically transformed beings. There are always guests, playing games, plotting schemes, or asking for advice, saying things like, "Good evening. I want to find love, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I live in a mystical and fascinating alternate plane. I've crafted a comfortable and lush kissing space, and I provide delicious snacks, but anyone I capture ends up running as fast as his legs can carry him. What's a Von Kissy void you gotta do?" Remember that?
Yeah.
Your life is very different, very mystical, and very awesome now. Good choice. The end.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I don't know that any other ones can top that.
All right. So you either want to take charge or you want to, the opposite of take charge.
I want to be a scaredy boy girl.
You want to give up?
Okay. Yeah.
You pass out from all the fear and sweating you've been up to. The rats notice that you're not screaming and twitching anymore and rush over with concern. They gently prod you, trying to help you come to. Some start slapping you across the face as hard as they can, like you've seen doctors do on TV, but it's no good.
Shit hands.
Ew.
They've also noticed that you're now covered in shit from their filthy paws and outfits, and they start to feel bad. They collapse their rib cages and shimmy their way underneath your body, forming a U-shaped pallet with thousands of tiny feet. They swarm towards their rat holes, carrying you on their backs. It takes a couple times smashing your head against the brick, but they finally figure out you're just a smidge too big to fit through the rat holes. They all stop, share a laugh, and take you the long way around through the sewer. Yeah, you're probably not waking up happy. Once they get you into the rat lair, they set about a cleansing. They do their best to clean you up using the things they've stolen from the house to be more acceptable to you. When you awaken, you find that you've got tiny little scratches all over, but are mostly clean and wearing a very sad fabric covering, obviously crafted to be as close an approximation to an evening gown as rats could possibly manage. The place is fucking filled with all the items you've been beaten for supposedly stealing all the years you've been here. But when you see the concern and adoration on those little rat faces, you're not sure you can be mad. Or can you? Yes! When you're naked, you look like Frankenstein because of all the skin grafts you've had to get from being brutally whipped over this shit. Or, no, you love the rats now.
I love them.
I mean, I've had to get skin grafts because of these guys.
Yeah, you've got butt skin all over everywhere.
And they've covered my body in scratches in a sewer.
Yeah.
I'm
mad.
Is
your butt just really tight?
At these rats.
Is it going to be rock, paper, scissors?
It looks like it's going to have to be.
Wait, I need to know if your butt skin's just really tight now.
Yeah. It's so tight.
Is it so tight that you can't sit?
Yeah, it's bad. You look like Frankenstein.
Maybe I just want to change then. Maybe I want to get mad.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Because I like loose butt skin.
We all know that about you.
Extra hard.
Yeah. All right. You jump up, grab as much stuff as you can carry, and haul ass through the maze of tunnels to escape from Rat Family. You can feel them tearing at your clothes, desperate for love. The sound of them splashing in your wake fills your ears as you try to turn after turn, desperate for fresh air and sunshine. You never find your way out. Rat Family stays with you until you lose steam and slump to the ground. They try to care for you, leaving you little scraps of food and bringing you new fashions, but you never touch any of it. You go mad sitting there in that spot deep in the sewers, creating a fast-growing puddle of your own waste, staring with unseeing eyes through the darkness, trying desperately to remember the way your life used to be when your parents were alive, until you die. The end.
God.
Yeah, that's the way I want to go, you know.
With Rat Family, or?
Well, no, having shunned Rat Family and I'm alone in the sewer, wishing for better days.
Yes.
Yeah. Just sounds so peaceful.
So, do you...
So, anyway.
Okay, I'll love them.
Yeah, I guess, you know.
I mean, everyone wants a tight butt.
Yeah.
Tighter the better.
That's what I'm learning from all this.
Yeah. You have accepted them all to be your natural-born children, and will set about naming them and live as the Rat Queen. You love the rats for trying to be like you, but you see that they're the ones who are truly free. You do return to the house, but only in the dead of night, and only in the grotesque rat suit you've made for yourself. You've given yourself glowier eyes from the toxic waste in the sewers. You don't keep up the practice of grinding your front teeth down so they become long and protruding.
What?
And you proudly wear stolen fur garments for so long that they fuse to your body. You are never seen in your beautiful human form again and become legend. It is awesome. The end.
Oh, yeah.
That's the canon ending.
Yes.
All right, that's just one more.
Okay. What was this choice?
For heaven's sake, you jump up, shoot the rats, and get a hold of yourself.
Ah, yes. The sensible thing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You take charge. With a capital T.
Yeah.
C.
Charge will take care
and
of
A.
All right. You gracefully sweep the rats off your person, stand, and with the commanding voice of the Rat Lord, not Queen this time.
Oh, man.
You order the rats into their holes. They all stop, look up at you as if stricken, and turn to run into their holes with their eyes filled with tears.
Aww.
They were all... Huh?
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, do you think it's like that, you know, that stereotypical, like, rat squeak sound? It's that, but just deeper.
With, like, a lot louder.
A lot of reverb.
Yeah. They were all 100% covered in shit. Damn, your sister must really be sick. So shit gets everywhere in cute little rat prints, and you're left to clean up the mess. You're unfazed. You feel in control for the first time in a long time. You've accepted your fate and will become the best goddamn shit-heel kick-dog caretaker there ever was. When the sisters see you now, they stand a little straighter and respectfully wait for you to pass. They still shit everywhere like untrained beasts, But that's due to the relationship you all have built based on follow-through, duty, and keeping the status quo.
Duty.
Your stepmother grows humpbacked and crone-like from stooping to check surfaces for dust. Her face grows more puckered and lined due to her impotent rage because she never finds any. The whip she keeps on her belt to lash you with grows brittle and cracked due to disuse. She eventually dies a hate-filled death in her sweaty but otherwise immaculate bed, and you deftly sweep her into the grave you already dug for her. I think she probably becomes a banshee or something because of how formidable you grew to be from a life under her boot heel. Your life isn't what anyone would call ideal, but it's filled with purpose. You live forever and look fucking incredible while you're doing it. The end.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. An amazing tale.
Yes.
So spooky.
Yeah. It's scary. You become a weird witch person.
Yeah.
You become rat king, rat lord.
Yeah. And you become a rat in one of them.
Yeah. Well, that's, rat queen instead of rat king.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Kween?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Anyway, that's my tale.
Loved it.
Yeah. It was amazing. Well, thank you guys for joining us for these 3 spooktacular tales.
Yes. Sorry you got scared, but you're a sissy.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Just get those rats to help you clean up that shit
Yeah.
that you're sitting in now.
Yeah, they definitely. I mean, if your story didn't do it, Megan's story didn't do it, they definitely shit their pants for mine.
Oh, yeah.
One of the stories got them.
Yeah, by the end of this, you've shit your pants for something.
We know it.
Yeah,
And
you made shitting seem so fun that they're going to be doing it even if they're not scared.
Yeah.
That's for sure. If you want to tell us about your shit-covered pants,
Yeah.
you can
email us at strangepathspodcast@gmail.com.
Do you like that segue?
Yeah, it was good.
Or you can tweet us your shit tweets at StrangePathPod on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can email me about all of your supernatural experiences. It's my favorite subject to talk about. And what you're going to do with your Halloween eggs at bozosglowglobes@gmail.com. And I do have an email
Oh my
from
god.
Sean.
Hey!
aka Garglock.
Nice.
He says,
Are you going to read it in the Garglock voice then?
No. I'm going to read it in his voice. Okay, here we go. Man, I don't know what Joanna is. Ooh.
Oh, shit.
That's a shame.
Wait, is he saying he doesn't know what kind of lizard he is, or he doesn't know who it is at all?
Oh, I don't know. Let me read further.
Okay.
The question that's been bothering me since I was little, what's with the level of anthropomorphism in the movie? You got Bert and Bianca who are full-on clothing-wearing mice. You got Wilbur who talks and wears a hat. And then you got the gold eagle, which is just a drawing of a very large eagle. And Joanna, who is somewhere in between? Think on that during your spooky Halloween night.
Yeah. Oh my god.
She's the missing link.
I don't know.
It is weird.
I always just thought it was more of a different animals are different kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some kind of weird, like, chemical thing got to a lot of those animals, but...
Or maybe it's true. And it's like, humans have this level of consciousness. And, you know, there's a hierarchy of animals that have, like, you know, more intelligence so that they can talk to each other like that, you know?
I don't know. Well,
Or
maybe, but also, like all the animals, it seems, that are, like, able to talk and everything have been around people, and maybe the eagle just has been in nature by itself.
And Joanna's just, like, not gonna try.
I don't know what's up with her.
Yeah. I don't know, I was
Eat
almost
rocks.
thinking maybe it's the difference between mammals and reptiles.
I don't know. It's
Plus
been a while
there's-
since I've watched it.
Yeah, I need to get on it.
Yeah, we'll have to do some Halloween research.
Because I feel like the eagle... Well, no, the eagle hasn't been around people. See,
Yeah,
this
but
is...
she, like, understands what the boy is saying, kind of, to her.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I guess we'll just have to discuss it more on our sister podcast, Rescuers Cast,
Yes.
where we
Rescuers down,
where we only talk about this movie.
I could talk about that movie forever.
Well, that's good, because that's what the show is about.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
Each
think I could talk
episode
about it
is
forever.
16 hours long, and there are 5,000 of them so far. Let's scratch the surface.
Yeah, we have to put them out one a day because we have that much material.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the pace that we're currently working.
All
right. Well, thank you for the quandary, Sean.
Yeah. I'll think about that instead of shadow people while I'm going to sleep.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Think about them.
Think about Joanna.
All right. Well, happy Halloween, guys.
Oh, no, I have another theory about Joanna. She's so crazed by eggs, like we're going to be soon, that she loses the power of speech. So we need to rein it in.
No.
Okay.
I mean, her only goal is eggs, and my only goal is eggs.
Yeah. So
I don't need to talk. All I need to do is grasp at eggs.
Why use many words when few words do? All right. So, have a happy Halloween, everyone.
Halloween.
And we'll catch you next October.
Ooh, October.
Spooky
Also
music,
next month. 'Cause
lightning.
we'll have episodes next month, too. So,
And all the months between. Bye-bye.